All right, everybody, it's time for another Gryphon Nation pop-up. Today, we're at Miss N. Thomas' class. She is a member of the Business and Computer Science Academy, and she teaches history. Let's take a look.
All right, so let's talk about suffrage. Who knows what suffrage is? Awesome. Look it up. What does suffrage mean?
The right to vote.
It's the right to vote. Okay, so on your piece of paper, draw the box. And suffrage is the right to vote. All right, so who already had the right to vote?
Men.
Men. What kind of men?
White men.
White men. What kind of white men? Rich white men. What kind of rich white men? Powerful rich white men. Who else? How about landowners? You were white, and you were male, and you were a landowner, you pretty much had the right to vote. Okay? So, the Civil War happened. It ended. It freed all the slaves. Who else got the right to vote?
Black men.
Black men. Which amendment allows black men the right to vote? Which amendment gave black men the right to vote?
The 15th.
The 15th Amendment, right? Someone read to me what the 15th Amendment says.
The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged from the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude.
On account of race, color, and previous condition of servitude. That pretty much covered the whole male species, didn't it? Right? But who was left out? Women. Okay, so women are sitting back like, I can vote. I have some opinion about politics, about who is going to govern over me, right? Because we agree to be governed.
Miss Thomas, this is a pop-up, and I couldn't help but notice how orderly everything is, and not just for the sake of being orderly, but with purpose. They came and they got the paper. You watched the video. What was the video about?
Well, we usually do a CNN 10 at the beginning of every class, just so that they can be aware of what's going on in the world and how it's relevant to them.
Why is that important?
Well, because this is a history class, and so you have to know what's going on out in the environment, out in the world, and how it's going to affect you.
Okay, I'm going to turn you this way just because the camera is right over there, and you don't have to go anywhere. I just want to make sure that everyone can see who we're talking to. Okay, so the writing on the board, the getting up to get the paper, the open answering questions, what is this all about?
Well, a lot of it is just structure in the class, because to have an orderly class, the students have to understand structure. So we do have a pace of what they do when they first come in, and then when another activity is going to begin, then I will ding the bell, and they know that the last activity has ended, and we're going to do another activity.
What class is this, and why is this class important?
This is U.S. history since 1890. And it's important to realize what happened in our past. I don't necessarily teach it in terms of trying to remember dates. I teach it in why did that event happen, and what were the effects and the consequences of why the event happened, and how it's still relevant today, as we often find that some events they simply circle back around, just in a different area and perhaps in a different format.
Tell the parents something that they may not realize that happens here that you are pretty pleased about.
I'm pretty pleased that from the beginning of the school year until now, the students are able to have open dialogue with me about a history event after we've spoken about it. They have an opinion about it, and they're actually able to research a particular project and turn out a really good product.
Okay, cool. Now, if you will follow me with the camera, anyone who would like to speak, I want to ask this question. Why do you like this class? Anyone, just raise your hand and let me come to you with the microphone. I see a lot of like, ooh, should I be the first or the second to raise my hand? Okay, so this is what I'll do. I'm gonna pick on you. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Okay.
Why I like the class?
Yes.
Well, I feel like instead of it just being like, I don't know, instead of we do like a bunch of worksheets and stuff, it's more of like we talk mostly about it. So yeah.
Why is that important?
Because it keeps your attention.
Cool. All right, anyone else? Okay, cool. All right. Let me come around this way.
I kind of agree with what he said. I feel like interaction is important when it comes to learning and stuff, and plus history has always been my strong suit for the most part, and it's always been interesting to learn about what happened in the past and how it affects us today. But yeah, I think interaction is important to drive your to keep it in your memory pretty much.
Cool. All right. So what this looks like is not only do we have an effective teacher, we also have an effective learning process. Is there anyone who would disagree that Ms. Thomas is an effective teacher? If you would disagree with that, please raise your hand. I see none. Okay. Did you bribe them with anything, promise or anything? I'm just... Okay. All right. Just checking. All right. So again, I'm Roger Robinson. This has been a Gryphon Nation pop-up. We'll see you next time.